Lucy is a family physician in Vancouver with 20 years of clinical experience. She trained in medicine and neuroscience at UCL London and has published research on neuroscience and pain. She believes that our innate homeostatic mechanisms can facilitate true healing and provide a foundation for all realms of health. By intentionally unlearning the effects of our modern culture, real health is possible. Lucy teaches mental training exercises and emotional offloading for patients with anxiety, insomnia, and chronic pain to deactivate their sympathetic nervous systems. These are MSP covered and are delivered in groups online. She has a private practice teaching mess painting done in a no-thought state, which brings the unconscious into consciousness, allowing the individual to realize their authentic self. Lucy is also a member of the Faculty of Medicine at UBC, and she is co-chair of the Vancouver Coastal Health Physician Wellness Committee to support our doctors and reduce physician burnout. Let's all welcome Lucy, who will be giving a special acknowledgement to the lands on which we are gathered on for the summit session today.
Thank you, Dali. We'd like to acknowledge the traditional, ancestral, unceded territories of Musqueam, Tsleil-Waututh, and Squamish First Nations, on which we are privileged to learn, work, and play today. When I arrived here as an immigrant 3 years ago, I was unaware of the extent of the struggles that Indigenous peoples face every day. I would like to take this opportunity to recognise the oppression that has dispossessed Indigenous people of their lands and denied their rights to self-determination. In this summit session, I would like to particularly honour the wisdom of Indigenous peoples here and across the world, and their knowledge of health-giving foods that are not part of the typical North American diet. I hope we can all learn to live consciously, to respect and learn from this precious land, always aware of its finite resources. And thank you, team, for this opportunity. I wasn't originally scheduled to facilitate the session today with Nicolette, but I'd heard of her and I was really excited to more learn about her roles, particularly as a wellness facilitator. Nicolette has been transforming people with chronic disease or cancer into conquerors of their condition through metabolic nutrition for at least 15 years. We'll have a dialogue today, followed by some questions. This session as well feels very special to me because I had a melanoma skin cancer in 2003, which was surgically removed. This led me to be curious of all methods which would allow me to activate and be in touch and make my innate healer become alive. Part of this led me to explore the Gerson therapy and a plant-based lifestyle. In 2003, very little was known by the masses. Through our dialogue today, please remember that I'm not your doctor and I'm not giving medical advice to you. So I've heard of Nicolette as the founder of the Green Moustache collection of plant-based organic restaurants here in Whistler and soon to be in New York. She does so much more. I'm so happy to have met her in person in Pemberton a week ago to chat about our life experiences, plant-based living, and being mothers to 3 children each of us. She's also a regenerative medicine educator, entrepreneur, author, doctoral student, and a renowned environmental and sustainability expert. She speaks globally to captivated audiences of Indigenous members, physicians, and youth about reversing the chronic diseases through nutrition, cellular regeneration, and detoxification. She most recently launched 22 Million Strong, a mission to reverse 22 million people's chronic diseases using food as medicine. She's also got other organizations, Richer Health, Feed to Sky, Thriver Society, and the Richer Health Nutrition and Detox Wellness Center. She's currently a doctoral student studying the connection between the microbiome and obesity, type 2 diabetes and mental health. For at least 20 years, she's been an international speaker, including a TEDx talk and Dragon's Den appearance. She was named a Force of Good by Tony Robbins and featured on A Scale of 1 to 10, documentary on chronic pain. She's a certified Max Gerson health trainer, and we could go on, but please let me introduce you to Nicolette. Hi.
Hi everyone. Thanks so much for being here, and I really look forward to today's time with you. Thanks for taking the time out this beautiful weekend that we're having.
Yeah, so that was some introduction. You do so much, but there were some big words in there. So maybe it would be good if you could just explain for everybody what exactly is regenerative medicine.
Sure. So an example that I like to use is when my husband was chopping food up in our kitchen several years ago, and we were having a dinner party, and all of a sudden he screamed because he had chopped the end of his finger off. And I know this is going to seem graphic, but the whole entire end of his finger, if you could see that, came right off. And it looked like a massacre in our kitchen. So he went to the hospital. My friend took him while I got our kids settled with our other friends. I collected his fingertip and brought it to the hospital. And the doctor, the surgeon who was there on duty at the time, by the time I arrived with the, quintessential finger in the ice dish, like you see in the movies, he had already had his finger cleaned and bandaged up. And I was like, but wait, you have to sew the finger back on, because I really wasn't looking forward to having a husband with a stubby finger. I thought he just might need them all parts of them. So what happened over the next 6 weeks is his entire finger grew back. And you cannot see a scar if he holds up both fingers, which he's done at many, many events over the years. You do not see a line through the fingernail. You do not see a scar on the back. His entire finger grew back perfectly. This is regenerative healing. Your body is designed to do this because you're born with your DNA. You are born fully complete and whole.